Yeah, I would say with Tua, he's our starting quarterback. So, I don't know how we could say it any more clearly. We've been that way through this season and what he's done, and what Mike and Tua, Bevel, Chandler, the coaching staff have all done. They've all worked tremendously hard, all of them together. So, Tua's, we anticipate him, worked with, talking with the doctors and consultants and everyone we've dealt with. We fully expect him back next year, 100% ready to go, and then we'll get through all those decisions. Like I said, just like we talked about every player on the roster.
Remember when they said that? I'm sure you do. 100%. No doubt, right? No doubt whatsoever. He is QB1. What else did you expect a coach and a general manager to say right after the season ended when there was no other quarterbacks on the roster? Of course, Tua was QB1 when they had that press conference. But no, I was vilified. I was torched. The mob came after me. And today, there's a little bit of vindication. Today, Mike McDaniel spoke at the NFL Combine press conference. And what he said, you guys might think it's not a big deal. Me, dare I say it was a bombshell. And I looked around. I looked everywhere. I checked all the Dolphin YouTubers. I checked Twitter. I checked all of the mob accounts who came after me. And not a single person spoke about this. So I'm going to tell you. And then you guys can decide what exactly is going on. Even the Miami Herald buried it. But luckily, I'm here and I'm going to show it to you. So this is an article by, dare I say his name correctly, Daniel Oyefusi from the Miami Herald. And he talks about the press conference today. He said Dolphins Mike McDaniel on decision to exercise Tua's option in the backup quarterback plan. Long article, very long article. I'm going to skip through most of it because you can probably read it. But there's a video and he starts talking about his recent concussions. And then he further goes on to talk about the variables involved in picking up the fifth-year option. All the stuff that a coach and a newspaper reporter are supposed to say. Goes on further to say that McDaniel and Greer have committed to Tua Tagovailoa as the QB1, as a starter for 2023. We all heard it said. Every single one of us heard them say at a press conference that QB1 for 2023 was going to be Tua Tagovailoa. But let's continue with this article. He talks about how Tua missed a couple games. He talks about his concussions. He goes on, if the Dolphins don't exercise a fifth-year option, what happens? Does Tua play out of contract? Does he become a free agent? All the stuff we've all been talking about. And I'm still scrolling. And you'll see this if you go to this article. I'm still scrolling. This is something that Chris and I have been working through and continue to work through. He's talking about the fifth-year option in early February. Tua is going to be taking judo classes to make sure he can fall correctly. We feel very comfortable in terms of this being able to prepare him for things that he hasn't otherwise been able to prepare for. Good answers. He's still saying good answers. And then we're going to get close here because with Tua set to return as a starting quarterback, the Dolphins will also have to find a capable backup for him. Veteran Teddy Bridgewater, who appeared in 5 games and made 2 starts, he ain't going to be it. We all know Teddy's gone as soon as free agency opens up. And now I want you to pay close attention to what I'm going to show you. So I blew this up so you can see it, so you know I'm not making it up. And I think there's some competitive advantages that we can bring to the room, the quarterback room, through free agency, and that's what we'll look to do. They're looking to bring in a quarterback, not just for a backup. Oh no, not just for a backup. Read the next sentence, the quote from Mike McDaniel. This is in quotes. There will be competition in the room, regardless of who we sign. But I think that's something we're definitely interested in to make the quarterback room better. I'm going to read that back to you. For those of you who are freaking out right about now, who think that they meant, 100%, there's going to be no changes, that Tua is going to be QB1, you need to read this. Quote, and I think there's some competitive advantages that we can bring to the quarterback room through free agency, and that's what we'll look to do. There will be competition in the room, regardless of who we sign. But I think that's something that we're definitely interested in to make the quarterback room better. So let me know when you're sending over the apologies. Let me know when you're going to start commenting and going, oh, Barry, we were all wrong. You were right. Let me know when you're going to start dying on the sword and realizing an NFL coach and a GM speak very, very couched in the way that they say things. Of course, at the end of the season, there's no doubt that Tua Tagovailoa is QB1. You know why? There's nobody else there. When he made that statement, I told people right now, when he made that statement, 100%, no doubt, Tua is our starter moving forward. That's because at that time, all they had was Teddy Bridgewater and Skyler. And now a few months later, when I told you that would change, when I told you they would start looking at their options, sure enough, what you're seeing is, I think there's some competitive advantages that we can bring to the room, the quarterback room, through free agency, starting on March 15th, and that's what we'll look to do. Not maybe, not we're thinking about it, that's what we're going to do. We are going to bring in competition through free agency. That's what we're going to do. He didn't say maybe. He didn't say we're thinking about it. Quote, I think there's some competitive advantages that we can bring to the quarterback room through free agency, and that's what we'll look to do. There will be competition. No ifs, ands, or buts. He didn't say maybe. There will be competition in the room, regardless of who he signed, but I think that's something we're definitely interested in. Definitely interested in to make the quarterback room better. What part of definitely bringing in somebody to compete in the quarterback room is 100% Tua Tagovailoa? I was pretty good in math. I can tell you right now, he is not 100% the QB. Yes, no, I'm wrong. As of today, as of right now, Tua Tagovailoa is QB1 and is the starter for the Miami Dolphins moving forward. Until they bring in some free agent who might end up beating him out, who might outcompete him. Nobody wanted to even address that. I kept telling you guys, there is not a coach in the NFL. There's never been a coach in the NFL. There's not a coach in college who can say 7 months before camp begins that they already know who's going to be starting. There's no possible way. You don't know what free agent doors are going to open. You just don't. And so every single one of you who bought into it and trashed me now owe me an apology. I don't expect it to come. I know it won't come, but you just heard it. You just saw a quote from the head coach of the team. The head coach of this team said he's looking for someone in free agency to bring in to compete for the starting quarterback job, and that he's definitely interested in doing so. So I understand I'm going to get flamed. I know you guys are going to dislike this video. I know you're going to give me terrible comments. I know you're going to just trash me, but I'm right. I'm 100% right. You're probably going to post comments. Oh, what he meant was, oh, what he was saying was, no, man. No, that don't work. That doesn't work at all. Mike McDaniel is an intelligent man. He's a great coach. He specifically says, and you can read it right here, I think there's some competitive advantages that we can bring to the quarterback room through free agency, and that's what we're going to do. There's no equivocation here. Light your heads on fire, run around, scream at me, post dirty comments. I don't care. Our head coach, the head coach of the Miami Dolphins, just said, I am definitely interested. Not maybe, not 100% like you said with Tua. I am definitely interested in to make the quarterback room better. Not my words. I'm just showing them to you. And now you have to wonder why it was buried in this article. Why you don't see it anywhere from the people on Twitter. Why is everyone ignoring it? Do you think he's lying? Do you think Mike McDaniel just made that up? Everybody can see this. Everyone who was in the room heard him say it. I'm sure right now there are people in the Dolphins organization who knew this before he went out there. But no, Barry, you turned your back on Tua. Barry, no, I can't believe you did this. No, I didn't turn my back on Tua. I really like Tua as a quarterback. I also know you can't lose a QB1 for 5 games. I also know you have to have the insurance policy, and the best way to have that insurance policy is to have the best quarterback available starting. If it's Tua, fantastic, let's run. If it's not, we can't have a Teddy Bridgewater back there. Don't talk to me about Marcus Mariota. Maybe Carson Wentz. I don't know. But it's obvious right now they're going to do something. They're going to make a move. I don't know who they're going to bring in, but they're going to bring in a quarterback, and he's going to compete with Tua. And God bless Tua if he beats him out, and God bless the opponent if he beats Tua out. Are you ready for that? That's what managing a team is all about. That's how you win. You bring in the best players no matter what. You bring in the best quarterback you have available to you, not just the one who's liked the most, not the one who's got the biggest fan base on Twitter. The quarterback who can execute your offense the best is who QB1 is. As of today, that is definitely Tua Tagovailoa. Will that be who it is in September? I have no idea, but they're looking. They're looking to find that. They're looking to see if that quarterback is available, and you now know the truth. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm sure you will, but this is a bombshell as far as I'm concerned. Talk to you soon. Fins out.
Is anybody catching on to this Barry guy?